Hey everyone, welcome to my Football Manager series, which we are now going to rename. I think I'm going to go with Driving Dépor Forward. You can see that we actually applied for two jobs in the summer, the Morandes job and the Deportivo La Coruña job. And we did get a job offer from, or an interview offer from Logroñez as well. But there was only really one that we definitely wanted as a primary sort of application because Deportivo La Coruña are a ginormous club and they have lots more money and hopefully we're going to put together a really, really awesome team. We're still going to be in the same division as we were last time with Tarazona. And in fact, we could be drawn in the same league as them and have them as our rivals, which would be really interesting. But I'll take you through. It says we've left Arizona to join divisional rivals. And it essentially says I have a good record, um, and I was one of the favorites, and I have a reputation for good football, which is obviously nice. So, uh, nice looking boardroom, eh? So we'll go next. We've got a real kit this time. We're being welcomed to our new surroundings. We have fierce rivals in Celta Vigo, but we have a really high capacity stadium, and I think that's why the finances are quite good. And you can see that the club's got a really great history. Two Copa del Reys, they've won La Liga before, which is really incredible. So we'll go next. You can see the contract on the table there, can't you? Or at least someone's notes. So it's going to be really interesting to look at the team. We'll go through in a second, but we've got some hot prospects that are listed here. But we will check that out in a second. We've already agreed to this, but just so you can see, we're playing that high tempo pressing football that we really enjoy, to be honest, and we're growing the club's reputation. And of course, I would be so disappointed if we didn't get automatic promotion. And the supporters want us to be want us to beat our rivals and also gain automatic promotion. So we'll say yes to meeting the media and I'll show you the team. I'm looking at this for the first time as well. Looks like some transfer business is going on at the same time. We've got a core fan base. We've got some hardcore fans as well, which is great. Loads of social media followers. Expectations to get promoted, but we've got 10 million pounds to do it, which is really amazing. And we are going to create a new tactic and sort everything out from scratch. I've got some new set pieces that I want to do. Um, and yeah, it's still showing as our shortlist from last time. So we'll do our tactic a bit later on, but we will look at the squad then. We'll arrange it by position. In fact, let's just look at who our best players are. So we've got a guy called Soriano, who looks like a really good inverted winger. What foot is he? He's right-footed, so yeah, that suits cutting in from the left, doesn't it? With great off the ball, maybe even an inside forward. So that suits our tactic. We've got another guy called Peke. He is a two-footed winger. He likes to cut inside from the left wing. He's more of a traditional winger. I'm going to play him on the right-hand side, actually, probably as a winger. Great passing, great physicals. He looks absolutely fantastic. He's also got awesome braces as well. Good for you, son. Um, Naro, Victor Naro. Again, I mean, how many left wingers have we got? Who's this chap? So all those are like pretty good. Um, Villares, who looks like a fairly decent kind of more defensive midfielder. I'd like him to have a little bit better passing, but some really fantastic physicals. He more supports like yeah, sort of a box to box type player perhaps with those physicals. Passing, it's just his technicals that aren't really great to be honest. I mean, we're sort of going player by player here, which I don't know how entertaining that is for you guys, but we've got a really promising player here, haven't we, for the right back zone? Says he's a centre back, but I think if you've followed any part of my series so far, you know that I quite like my right full back tucked in. Let's look at our kind of coach report here, and he's potentially La Liga standard, so he looks like he could be an interesting player at right back. Um, but I will go through this over the next few in-game weeks, and we will really go from there. But a lot of these people are wanted, unfortunately, by other clubs, and I think what I learnt in kind of previous situations, especially at Tarazona, was that it's all about keeping players happy. And I think I have enough about me in the transfer market to just get in players, especially with 10 million, just get in players who, can back me up, can support me. Is this the same chap? Yeah, so he looks really good. Riera is another kind of like standout talent. Looks like a good young centre back there. Good jumping reach, not particularly tall, but good positioning and bravery, stuff like that. And yeah, so is there anything else I really want to sort of show you at the club? Maybe we can look at the staff. So we're going to have like pretty good coaching staff, aren't we? Maybe just instantly get a couple of scouts in and look who we can get to bring in. Um, and I think we bring all of our shortlists, do we, from the previous things? So yeah, we've got all our previous scouting and shortlists. Let's just look who would like to join us here. So who's slightly interested? So some of these were players listed in like the next gen list that gets posted. So have a look if any of these players want to join us, but they are unfortunately are just the Spanish ones. Is anyone doubtful? No. So it looks like we'll keep going. Oh, those are just the strikers, so I'll clear that, put that back to interested, and we'll see who we have. Um, yeah, so we've got some interesting players there in terms of youth who we could bring in. Let's sort by world reputation. Yeah, so we've got some interesting players to look at there. Roger, I think, has already been transferred. He was a player that looked really good. Carlos Andrade is still there. But yes, as I said, I will sift through these and we will go from there. We've got lots of players that we can loan, etc., etc. But yeah, look at that, exciting times. Look at the finances as well. That's not familiar at all, is it? Um, but the season tickets bring in so much money. I wonder if we can see kind of like the average attendance. I'm not very good at knowing where to look at these types of things. But lots of stuff so we can see our captains. Who's our hot prospect? Checker. Ooh, now that is an interesting player in terms of you guys know I love to play with a deep line playmaker. How about one with unbelievable passing? Shame about the decisions. Would like to get that up. But that looks really, really interesting. He's our young talent. I think he's going to perform wonders in this league. Key player is Peke, and he wants to leave. So if any offers come in, I'm just gonna negotiate with the player. Look, if we get this amount, you can go, and then I'll start to bring in players that I trust. And yeah, we'll go from there. So I hope if anyone's watching, you're not too disappointed that I have left Arizona. Remember, I did reject a £20,000 a week job at Crystal Palace to learn more about the game with them in the lower leagues. And the way I kind of envisage this save, I do this kind of save every one or two FMs where I like to try and win the leagues like in some kind of sequence. So we're actually dropping down because they got relegated into the same league. So it's not as if like with the Crystal Palace job we'd just be like jumping a huge portion of the game that we find really enjoyable. But what will be tasty is actually playing Tarazona. And I think as much as I enjoyed my time there, my frustrations were about them not letting me do a coaching course. So that will be one of the first things I request. So yeah, hopefully you can stick with it, guys, and I'll catch you in the next episode.